Chris, this is something we do each and every week. It's some people's favorite segments. I think, Eric, you know what's up. You know what we're going to do right now, don't you?
That's right.
It is the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices data. That is right. Real data used to tell us what the top 10 hottest comics are based off of sales, not speculation. Like, oh, well, this one seems to be hot this week because this, and this is going on. No, sale, data. This is what people are buying. These are the hottest comics. It's that easy. We are not sponsored by Cover Price, but we use Cover Price almost like a stock index, telling us what's what. And right now, I am going to read off the top 10 hottest comics of the week. But after that, Chris gives us his 3 most interesting picks from this list. That's right, his 3 most interesting picks. Here we go with the top 10 hottest comics of the week. At number 10, you have Batman Fortnite 0.1. This has been on this list probably 2 or 3 weeks now, as well as this next one. At number 9, we have Black Widow. Number 6, the first appearance of Marigold. Number 8, we have Conan the Barbarian. Number 24, first full appearance of Red Sonja after that casting, the woman who played Ghost in Ant-Man and the Wasp. It will be Red Sonja. At number 7, we have Batman Fortnite 0.0, the second print. At number 6, we have Secret Wars, Secret Love 1, second print. I'm not sure what is so special about this book, but I do see a lot of people grabbing this one. At number 5, we have Marvel Comics Presents number 72, classic. Weapon X storyline, Barry Windsor Smith. Love the art. Number 4, we have Something is Killing the Children. Number 1, the 2020 LCSD foil cover. I mean, Something is Killing the Children is hot these days. Guys, these were available in all the shops, 5-6 months ago. Shame on you for not picking it up. At number 3, Batman Fortnite 0.0. 0 point number 2. At number 2, we have Mighty Avengers number 1. This is where Monica Rambeau becomes Spectrum, or she first uses that name. And at number 1, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood number 3. This is the Kevin Eastman 1 in 25 variant. Chris, this is an interesting list this week. What do we got as your top 3 most interesting picks?
Yeah, really interesting. I almost went and threw that Marvel Comics Presents 72 back on here for the 3rd week in a row. Big ups to that book, but I didn't. So let's to my top 3. So my 3rd pick, I had to go with Conan the Barbarian, number 24. So basically, we had an announcement of casting this last week that sparked some unneeded controversy, to say the least, but I won't get into that. Actress Hannah John Kamen has been cast to play Red Sonja in a live action feature. It's not going to be connected to Marvel Studios, obviously, nothing like that. But this book, issue 24, more controversy, is considered the first full appearance of Red Sonja, although she does make her first cameo appearance in issue 23. But, and I won't go down the rabbit hole of this, but I'll give you guys a little context, and then you guys could go, lose sleep tonight doing your own research. If you actually read both stories, okay, and count panel appearances and word bubbles, both of these appearances are very, very similar, and it's caused a lot of controversy because a lot of folks say, well, look, they're like the same, so why is it 23 your first full appearance? I have my own personal opinion about, on that, but I'll leave you with that. Like I said, go lose some sleep tonight, okay? This book, obviously, with the announcement, has gotten real hot. We had a 7-day trend of a 339% increase in sales, with the high sale for CGC 9.4 hitting $1,100. So that's big. This book has already been picking up steam over time. The one thing that I do want to say about this casting call and about the controversy is that a lot of folks were upset because they see Red Sonja as a white character, when in actuality, Red Sonja is indeed Persian. She is a Persian character. So, and also another thing is that the actress Hannah John Kamen, who is a mixed ethnicity, black and white, actually has auburn tint hair, which many biracial individuals have. So that's all I'll say about that. I'm happy about the casting. I'm happy that this book is getting some love. This is a book that I've been looking at for a long time that I never picked up, and now I'm just like, man, I should have did it.
Yep. Same here.
Right.
I've never been into Conan. I've never been into Red Sonja, but I'm happy properties like this are getting picked up and then the excitement continues. I think it's bullshit. The controversy and all this other, whatever. But you know what? It's whatever. I hope it's a great movie. Honestly, I hope it brings more light on this character. I hope it brings more light into Conan's world as well. Granted, I don't think Marvel owns Red Sonja as a property anymore or is licensed. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think that's the case. Anyways, moving on though, Chris, what is your second most interesting pick from this top 10 list? What do you got?
Yeah, again, this was a tough one. This is the number one pick, but it's not my number one. It's my number two, and that's Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. Number three, the Kevin Eastman 1 in 25 variant. I picked this book first off because it's Kevin Eastman. I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan. Kevin Eastman's art is so unique, in my opinion. And there's just no one like him out there. I really appreciate this guy, and I had to throw this on the list mainly for that reason. Because I tell you guys, I don't just pick these lists. I don't pick the top three and just do my three as the top three. I don't pick them just because they're the hottest ones selling. I find different reasons to talk about these books. Kevin Eastman rarely does work outside of his Ninja Turtle stuff. So to see him do a Marvel book like this is really, really awesome. I also heard some controversy. Now, I don't have all the context, but I heard that a lot of the stores that had ordered to receive this book didn't get it. So it forced this book. It's already a 1 in 25. It forced this book almost to be more scarce than it should have been. So basically, this book was going for $53 in a high raw grade over this last week since the release, a 530% increase in sales, very sought after. I personally saw a lot of people, showing it off and on their Instagrams, talking about it on social media. Other people that said, "Oh, my store was supposed to get it, but they didn't. Where can I find this book?" So it's definitely picked up steam and made number one on the list. That increase in sales was just over a 500% increase. That's pretty amazing. So it just goes to show you, I think, Eastman has a really strong following. And like I said, seeing this artist do something for Marvel like this is very, very rare. So people really jumped on that opportunity.
It's definitely rare. Like as you said, he rarely does anything outside of Turtles, and like to see him do something like this, like Carnage, that's just awesome. And good on you people, whoever picked that up. I think that's definitely going to be a highly sought after issue for a long, long time.
Yeah.
All right. Your third most interesting pick.
I'm getting some water.
Go for it. You deserve it. You deserve that.
Before I go into number one.
Here we go.
All right.
Actually, number one, but it's your third, whatever. Anyways, go ahead.
It's my number one. That's what I was just saying, right? Like my number one. I don't care what number one is on the list. I'm making my own rules. So man, I put this book at number one for a few reasons. I'm just excited about it. I think it's been in my top 3 picks a couple times over the last few months because it's been in and out of the top 10. I'm loving this character right now. I'm loving the actress that's playing the character in the MCU. So my book is none other than Mighty Avengers. Number one, this is the first appearance of Monica Rambeau as Spectrum. So I actually have my copy sitting next to me over here somewhere. One of 2 copies. I got it out to give it a nice press. Was thinking about sending it off to CGC. But the thing is, when we knew Monica Rambeau was going to show up in the series WandaVision, we had seen her as a little girl in Captain Marvel. That's all we knew. I talked about both the Spectrum and the Photon books for Monica Rambeau. And then once we got her in the show and we saw that her mom took the mantle of Photon, Jeff, you and I both have been talking about, man, Spectrum. So what did we get recently? I believe last week, right? We got the Marvels. We got the teaser. We got the Marvels announcement. And we got the Spectrum logo in the Marvels title image. And now, for those that don't know, Marvels is the title for the Captain Marvel 2 film. So what does this kind of hint at? That she's going to be taking the mantle of Spectrum. Now, Here's the thing. Let me talk about the numbers first, and then I'm going to do a final say on where I think Monica Rambeau is going in terms of the MCU. 7-day trend, 162% increase in sales. 182% increase in sales. And again, this book was already getting hot. Check this out, though. This book keeps making moves. A CGC 9.8, $350. Solid, because now I'm really thinking about sending mine in. Don't know if it's going to get a 9.8. Maybe a 9.6. Who knows? All right. Here's my thing. This is my theory. You guys let me know what you think, too. I do believe that Monica Rambeau is going to be Spectrum in the Marvel's film. We know that Miss Marvel is going to be there. Kamala Khan is going to be there. We know Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel is going to be there. Jeff, I've talked about this with you before. Monica Rambeau was addressed as Captain in almost every single episode of WandaVision. Captain, not anything else, just Captain.
Yeah.
I don't think they did that on accident. Marvel is very subtle at doing things. All right. We got the movie named Marvels. Now, okay, well, you could take the obvious to say, well, there's more than one Marvel and they're all going to be in the film. But I'm sorry, I got to go a little deeper because I know Marvel does this. Why? There's another reason, in my opinion, that the Captain is taken out of Carol Danvers' next movie. They're not, Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan are still going to be supporting cast, in my humble opinion. It's still Carol Danvers' film. So why is Captain taken out? All right? Because I honestly believe that multiple things are going to happen here. Get your spec pencils out. No, don't do that. Because I'm never one to sit and tell you. This is just my humble opinion. Don't go buy a book just because I'm speculating on something. This is what's going to happen. Captain Marvel that we know of, Carol Danvers. First off, something's going on between her and Monica. We got hints of that in WandaVision. Something is going on between them. I think that's going to play a role. But then I think an antagonist is going to come in and play a role. Something's going to happen to Carol Danvers. Something is going to happen to Carol Danvers. And while Monica Rambeau is Spectrum, she's going to take the Captain Marvel mantle. And then, maybe not in this next film or right away, and then Carol Danvers is going to come back as Binary. Woo!
That's lofty. That's lofty right there. That is lofty.
And I brought this up. On a video and I have people commenting, well, she's already gone binary in the MCU. Well, you think about it when she glows and she punches through Thanos' shit. Okay, technically her powers are similar to the binary powers. But if you read the comic books, binary isn't just a power. Carol Danvers goes through something and loses her humanity and becomes this almost different entity by being binary. I think that is what's going to happen to Carol Danvers in the MCU. And then the thing I didn't mention here, and what's going to be a catalyst to making all this happen, Rogue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jay Ward brought that up too. Shout out,
Man,
Jay Ward.
I hope so. That would be so awesome.
So much, man.
So awesome.
That would be amazing. But here's the deal. Like, honestly, these names are pretty subjective to a point, because yes, it was a Captain Marvel film, but she was never called Captain Marvel in the film. Not once did anybody address her as Captain Marvel. Right? So if Monica becomes, I don't know, man. I like your theory here, but I don't see it happening. I think Carol Danvers will be leading the Avengers at some point soon, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that.
I really do.
As well.
I don't think she's going to hit binary, becoming this otherworldly being of some sort. I think that I do think that she will be just who she is. I don't know, will they ever call her Captain Marvel? I don't think so. I see it more likely that Monica Rambeau will be Spectrum. And again, that's just our speculation here, guys. We're not telling you go buy these books or anything like that. I mean, if I had the money, I would buy that. I would personally buy those Mighty Avengers #1s, but we're not telling you guys to do that. But this is where we think it's coming. Eric, what do you think, actually? We haven't heard from you.
You know what? They have to do the whole Rogue storyline. They have to. When I heard that Captain Marvel, the movie, was coming, I was like, I just lit up. I was like, you know, finally, you know, and even from the animated series, the X-Men, you know, they had the storyline. It's all there. They have to do it. So, but like you said, them titling it the Marvels, I would get anything with Marvel in it, and I'm sure you two know what I'm getting at. That nobody has talked about, and we thought we might have seen them in WandaVision, and that's Blue Marvel.
Yeah, that's a hard one to come by, man.
You know, it is, but that's one to have for the PC. You know, regardless.
Definitely. It's a great story too, by the way. It's
exactly. So you know, you never know. You can come into collections or back bins. You know, you might just find one. You know, stay on the hunt.
The Butchie told the story how he found it. He got cover price for
it.
Yeah.
I think that book is going for what, $600, $700, I think, right?
Woo, so, crazy.
I mean, again, but that is a really hard one. But I hear what you're saying. Marvels are hot, especially Chris. You had that sweet, because my Captain Marvel was Monica when I first got into books. I think you guys are the same thing.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau was Captain Marvel. That was the only Captain Marvel I knew. I stopped collecting for a little while, came back, and I didn't know who this Carol Danvers was, et cetera, et cetera. You know, now I know the history, but you know, I'm glad that Marvel is making her way. I'm sorry, Monica is making her way into the Marvel universe. I'm really happy.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, you know, Marvel is been strategic and not rushing anything.
Yeah.
Everything I just said, I'm not saying they're going to put in one movie.
Right? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, but I do believe that and you know what, another thing that I believe that ties into this, they're not going to bring in the X-Men. Like, here's the X-Men.
No.
I just don't see that happening either. No. So there's these certain characters that could be planted into so many different other characters that are already developed that we could see happening over the next few years before we even get the X-Men. So yeah, so many different players.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau, though, in the middle of all this, in the middle of all the Captain Marvel and stuff, and everything I brought up, Monica Rambeau is a player, hands down, no matter what. And no matter what she's called, no matter what she's called, she's gonna be. I can absolutely see her getting a standalone film at some point down the road. You know, we're seeing her built up. I hope to see her in Secret Invasion, which I do believe is supposed to release before the Marvels film, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I just I have high hopes for Monica Rambeau in the MCU, no matter what road they send her down.
Definitely. Here's the deal. We are ending this top 10 hottest comics right now because we're just going to segue into something else. But again, we'll have an interesting new list next week, and Chris will dissect that list and give his 3 most interesting picks from that week.